My name is Danny McKinley, and I'm here in Zia Comics in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And today, I'm going to teach you how to play Hero Realms, the 2 to 4 player deck building game where you can play in about 15 minutes. Incredible game. Let me show you how it works. In Hero Realms, players will take on becoming a hero, hiring more heroes, and basically trying to eliminate their opponents. Every player starts off with the same thing. They will start off with the same deck of 10 cards, which consists of 8 gold, which will provide 1 money each, a dagger and a short sword, which will attack for either 1 or 2, and a ruby, which will give 2 money. Now what's going to happen, players will start off with 50 life, as shown by these 2 cards. When players lose life, they will simply move their card down from the tens place to the ones place. In this example, I took 3 damage, so I went from 50 to 47. There will also be a row in the middle of all the cards where you are able to buy cards. On your turn, it's going to be incredibly simple. You're going to start the game with 5 cards, unless you're the first or second player, but we'll get to that later. The decks are shuffled at random, and you're going to draw 5 cards at the end of your previous turn. You're then going to play cards in any order you want to either buy or attack your opponent. So let's say I start with the short sword. This has the red symbol for attack, and it does 2 damage. The player, my opponent of my choice, will take 2 damage, closer to destroying them. But then finally you can play any cards to buy cards from the center row. This I have a total of 5 money, 3 gold and 1 ruby. I can buy any combination of cards that equal 5. There will always be some fire gems available, and then there'll be cards in the center row. Let's say I bought this Prophet for 1. A new card would immediately replace it, and if I choose to afford it, or if I can't afford it, then I can buy any other cards. Now here's the part about deck builders. If you know how to play a deck builder, then this will come naturally to you. There's nothing new here. But if you don't know how to play a deck builder, that's no problem. Basically, any cards that you buy, any cards that you play during your turn, or any cards you still have remaining in your hand will always go to your discard pile. Now why is that? Well, since all players start with the same 10 cards, they're going to draw 5 cards at the end of each of their turns. If they run out of cards, well then they'll simply take their discard pile and reshuffle it for their next turns. So any cards that you acquire during this game, they will come back for you. Think of it like building an engine. So that you're going to buy more powerful cards that will work and accelerate your deck to damaging your opponents. So let's talk about what these cards do. We have cards that provide more money. We have cards that attack players for more, like in this example, he attacks for 6. And then we have cards that do other combinations or smaller abilities, like draw a card or remove champions from play. Now there's 2 types of cards. We have champions and we have action cards. Now action cards, after they're played, they're going to be discarded from the game, or discarded into your discard pile. In this example, we have Prophet, which will provide 2 money. And it also has a faction ability below. There are 4 different kinds of factions. There's red, green, blue, and yellow, and they each have a backstory. But if you have a faction ability on a card, like in this example, both Prophet and the Enforcer here, then you will also get, as a bonus, those additional abilities. So in this example, if I played both these cards, not only was I already getting 2 money and 3 damage, I get an additional 4 damage, and I get to draw a card. So that's great abilities that you get to use throughout the game. Now, I brought up the idea that you have champions. Champions also have the word champion under their title, but they're also easy to determine what they are by the shield that's down in the bottom right corner. Champions, they act just a little bit differently. When you play one from your hand, they do not discard at the end of the turn. They stay in play permanently, and you can use their ability each turn, showing that you are using your ability by exhausting it and turning it sideways. These would also apply for faction abilities, but they get to stay in play. Now, let's say if a champion becomes too annoying that opponents want to get rid of it, they absolutely can. The shield is how you determine that. This has a shield with the number 3 on it. So if a player does 3 damage to this character or this champion, it would go to my discard pile. However, if I have a shield like this that says guard in it, players must attack this champion before they are allowed to attack me. They are essentially guarding me. This game will continue using the faction abilities and the abilities shown below until one player is declared the victory. Now there's one symbol I haven't shown yet, and that's this green symbol. That's mana, and that just means you gain that much life. That's the opposite of an attack. So if I were to play this, I got 2 money and 3 life gain. However, I can also get more for champions I have in play. So all these cards work off of each other throughout the game, and one player will remain victorious as they eliminate all other players. And that's how you play Hero Realms. As you can see, this game looks like it has a lot of depth, and it does, but it also looks complex from the outside. This is just about the easiest game for most people to pick up, and this is now my go-to game for teaching how to play deck builders. So come check it out at Zia Comics in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and we'll be happy to demo it for you.